As a society, we love to feel a part of something. That's one thing I really noticed, like letting our customers name our newest product. And I feel like it really gets people like into it. Like, okay, I feel a part. I feel like I'm doing something. I feel like I'm like really a part of this brand.
Scrolling through your Instagram, I caught a little New York City billboard and I was like,
Yeah,
that must be fake. Like, that must just be a graphic or something. That was real.
that was real, very real.
Dang, definitely a bucket list check right there. Times Square billboard.
I came up with this collection. I've coined it the Happy Feet collection because it's just animals and fun shoes. And that's all it is. Like, so silly, but like so fun. And my friends are like, Cora, I think that you could, like, I would buy this from you. It's definitely been a learning curve, of course, because a lot of it is like the pricing was huge, actually, like kind of determining what I'm going to give myself. That's like definitely a challenge to figure out like value of your time.
So I made one for myself, loved it, started making them and selling them through Etsy, sold a lot. So, it like shocked me. Sometimes I would end up loving a certain craft, and other times I would realize I'm not cut out for something, but that's okay.
My heart dropped when you said that.
If only that could have been a blooper, but we didn't even record it. Okay, Liz, on your cue.
All right, for the first time. Hey everyone, I'm Liz, Student Made's digital marketing strategist, and you're listening to our May 2026 Top Brands episode featuring 3 creative founders from Michigan State University, the University of Missouri, and the University of South Carolina. I'm so excited to share what I love most about these brands with you all today. Be sure to find the links to explore these talented creators in today's show notes, and I would also highly recommend checking out my top product picks this month made by student entrepreneurs across all of our campuses. Find that link in the show notes as well. All right, enjoy today's episode. Whether you're taking a walk to your favorite farmer's market or at home making some iced tea.
Well, thank you so much, everyone, for being here today. We are giving you a chance to not only hear what we love about 3 awesome student businesses from around the country, but you will also hear from the creators of the brands themselves, including what inspired them to start their business, what they believe makes their brand stand out, and lessons they've learned along the way in all the different areas entailed in growing a successful brand as a creative entrepreneur. These are businesses part of our Student Made program, which you can learn more about in the show notes. This will be actually our last Top Brands episode of the semester, but we'll be back next September for the start of season 7. But definitely be sure to check out the previous episodes we've posted throughout this past season, and please help us share them with anyone who you think might enjoy it. I'm Ryan, by the way, a Student Made co-founder, but Liz, our digital marketing strategist, will be the one leading this episode mostly today. So with that, let's dive into it. We're going to start with some creator intros, get to know our awesome guests today.
Hey guys, my name is Katara Waller. I attend Michigan State University. I'm studying advertising, and I currently run my own beauty and cosmetics brand called Beauty Conscious, and I'll be graduating in May 2027.
Hi everyone, my name's Cora Lyon. I'm a senior at the University of Missouri. I'm studying psychology and I'm getting a minor in entrepreneurship. My main business is Kindly Cora. I do digital art and customs. And then my other business is Enjoy. I run it with my mom. I'm the creative director for that company. I'm also the campus manager for my branch as well.
Yes, we'll get to more of that in a minute.
Yes.
Hello, my name is Caitlin Melton. I am a senior film and media major at the University of South Carolina. I have 2 businesses as well. I have Caitlin Creates, which is my more artsy business where I sell jewelry, stickers, bookmarks, things like that. And then Whisk Takers, which is my baking business. So cookies, cakes, sweet treats.
Love it. Awesome. All right. So we're going to kick it off with Katira Waller from Michigan State University. Her brand is Beauty Conscious. Michigan State has been a big school partnership for us, actually hosting our first conference last February, which was great. The Burgess Institute there, an awesome partner of ours. So we're going to have Liz dive into a little bit of what stood out to us this past month about Beauty Conscious, making it into one of our top 3 brands of the month. And excited to learn more about you, Katira.
Yay! Beauty Conscious Cosmetics provides easy to use beauty products for amateur makeup users so everyone can feel beautiful and confident. The first thing I want to talk about is just the quality of the brand that you've built and really the intentionality of everything you've created to make your business stand behind that mission of making makeup more accessible. So I would love to know, how did you come up with the idea for BC Cosmetics? Did you already have experience in the beauty and cosmetics industry? And what was the process like to get cosmetics approved and ready for sale?
Yeah, so I actually started it during the pandemic. So around that time, I feel like all of us had like a lot of free time. Like we were just isolated, just like picking up hobbies and skills. I always was into makeup, but I never really knew how to do it exactly. Like here and there, blush or something like that, like something simple. So I decided to teach myself how to do makeup, and in that process, I feel like it was hard for me to like gather the skills and like the expertise on like what product does what and how to accurately use it for like your complexion and things of that sort. I remember specifically with contour, I found myself like mixing different contours just to get the right pigment and like just to get it to perform well on like different complexions and like what I want to use it for. And I was like, okay, I can't be the only person who's having a hard time doing this. And I'm like really big into social media. So I recorded myself doing my makeup one time and I was just like trying to give people tips that like I found useful as a beginner. And I remember like at that time, Reels was like just starting to be like promoted on Instagram, like, you know, with TikTok, the competitor. So I posted a reel and I feel like it went kind of viral in a way. People was commenting like, oh, we need more makeup tutorials, or like, oh, like I was having the same struggle. This is actually something that I can like grow and like build more of. So of course, like with cosmetics, kind of hard to get into, especially like formulations and stuff like that. So I found myself just like starting with something more simple. So I started with like lip glosses and lashes. Pretty straightforward, like the moisturizing factors, like the vitamins in your lip gloss. Pretty simple. Did a lot of research on that. And then I also was like always following different creators and like entrepreneurs, like Glossier. I like watched their whole come up. Like I like did so many case studies, reading their podcasts and stuff like that. So I took like a lot of stuff I was learning like on YouTube or like from these other successful beauty entrepreneurs and like did my research more, and eventually end up getting a manufacturer after like having the sales from the lashes and lip gloss do pretty well. We had enough money to actually get products from a manufacturer. And when it comes to like FDA approval or having like the approval on cosmetics, it gets kind of like tricky. There's like different exceptions and like licensing. But from the money we had from our first initial sales with the lip glosses and lashes, we ended up getting our first batch of manufactured products with a low minimum order quantity that like they really worked with small businesses. And then from there, it was like really simple because they already had the licensing. It was already like approved, and that made it definitely an easier process. So
That's incredible that you had, first of all, like the passion to do all the research and the case studies and all those things. And then, to actually go out there, and you had to learn so much for your business. It's a lot different than having a business where you're making like jewelry or, prints that we'll talk about today too. It's so much more involved. So that is props to you for doing all that. Glad you talked about Reels a little bit because I want to talk about your social media presence next. You are doing just an incredible job at being consistent in producing high quality content and also using your brand voice across all of your platforms. I really love reading your captions, and I actually point creators to your Instagram, and I'm like, this is a great example of a brand voice. So good job. I know as a beauty brand, having content that answers your customers' questions is really important because you're building trust with them, especially when you're, helping out that person who maybe doesn't understand much about beauty products or is new to doing makeup like you were when you started it. So how do you choose your content to build that customer loyalty? And do you have any tips for other entrepreneurs who might be struggling to find their content niche or brand voice?
Yeah, I feel like I've like always been a very like social media savvy girl. Like I feel like I don't know. I feel like especially like Gen Z, like you're raised on social media. Me just like being in tune with like other brands I love and like taking little bits and pieces from each brand. Like I know as a society, we love to feel a part of something. That's one thing I really noticed. Like, if a brand is building in public or posting something or like asking for your advice on like a product or something like that, or like, how should I make this? Or letting our customers name our newest product. And I feel like I got like a thrill out of that. So I was like, okay, like I have to incorporate this in my marketing strategy, like, or my content strategy. So, one thing I really try to prioritize is like incorporating the customers in every single step of it and like our consumers. So whether that's doing like interactive quizzes throughout the week, like, oh, like, let's see what's your ideal lip combo, or okay, like, what's the lip combo of the week, or choose your blush shade based on your zodiac sign, something like simple like that. And I feel like it really gets people like into it, like, okay, I feel a part, I feel like I'm doing something, I feel like I'm like really a part of this brand. So that's one of my number one, I feel like, content strategies, is making sure like I'm also giving out a lot of like interaction, so it's like not a one-way street between a brand and a consumer, which I'm really big on. Also, I would say, as far as like picking what content to post, I feel like it really comes to like knowing your customer and knowing the like stages of a consumer journey, from like awareness to consideration to like the actual sale part of it. I'm definitely a marketing girly, so I learned a lot about that. For example, someone might come across your product, which is like the initial awareness stage, and it's like, okay, what questions may they have, or like what may pop up that would prevent them from taking the step to like purchase it. Like, they might be like, okay, like, I don't know if this fit my complexion. So what's the combat to that? Okay, we're going to post a content picture of like all of our models in different complexions in like every foundation or every blush shade. Or they might be like, okay, how long does it last? And we make sure we do like informational graphic about what's included in the products, like the benefits, the features, and stuff like that. So I feel like really understanding your customer journey and like thinking about the potential questions they may have in their head or something like that. And I feel like to give like advice for other entrepreneurs, I would say definitely like get your reps in, because if I look at some of my like old posts, I cringe sometimes, because it's like, oh my God, like, girl, that was not working. Like, it wasn't working. But I do definitely feel like that the consistency of it and like just getting your reps in, you're able to see, okay, like this is working, or this is not working, or this is sticking, or it's like resonating well with my audience. And then you could just build off of that. Like, go back, look at your analytics, like this post did great. People love to see day in the life videos of a founder, and like really just like understanding and like, I guess, getting your reps in. Just keep on being consistent.
I love that. And I love that you have such a balance of creativity and strategy in your business, because I can just hear you talking about it. I'm like, that's such a smart thing that you're doing, that a lot of entrepreneurs, you know, like you said, like, get your reps in. You don't really know what you don't know until someone else maybe tells you, or you try something else and it works better. So that is great advice for every small business owner, or honestly every human ever. Just like keep trying things until something works, and don't be scared to, you know, not have something perfect the first round when you're starting a small business and learning. Like, that's a big part of it. And especially, like you said, listening to your customer and hearing what they want, especially in something like makeup, like you said, just, you know, answering those questions, and then also having the space for people to ask more questions and having a very transparent brand. I love that.
Cool. All right, ready to wrap up brand number one? Actually, Katara, a couple things I wanted to say. First of all, question for you is your graphics. So your graphics are incredible on your Instagram. How do you go about making those? And maybe advice for people on that. Like, what mistakes maybe were you making early on that you look back at your old post and you're like, that wasn't working? Was it more the approach, the wording, or was it like the graphic style that you've developed as you've gone?
I honestly think it was a little bit of both. So I'm currently an advertising and business major. So originally, like, I was like strictly on Canva. Like, I just knew all the Canva things I need to know, and like using different templates, whatever was easier, whatever was like getting the word across. I feel like as I built my actual like brand image and like brand personality and brand voice, whatever, I feel like I said, like getting your reps in, I feel like for example, many people might not know this, but like my first ever logo, like whole Instagram, was black and white. Like, I didn't have no color. It was no personality. It was like I was selling lashes and lip gloss with like a regular black and white logo. Like, I didn't have like no substance behind it, I guess. Like, I feel like the pink and like the girly best friend or like older sister brand voice. And I feel like the graphics and like the way we put stuff together, it gives you a feeling. And like,
Yes.
I feel like it stuck so well because like even when I go to pop-up shop, it's like, okay, like where's the pink table? Or where's the pink girl? Like where's the pink brand?
Yeah.
I feel like that like all stuck because I kept on like practicing and like putting different things out there and see what like meshed well together. Like, do you have a feeling from looking at this image? Like, can you tell without even having any text? Can you tell what this brand is about without even having to like put a description on it? Can I see what's?
Yeah, it's like it's funny because sometimes that black and white minimal aesthetic works for businesses. Like Magnolia comes to mind, and it's all about just like peaceful Zen, like cozy home decor. And I feel like that goes with black and white simplicity. But your brand, like you said, pink, ended up being more of a pop that customers recognize you, and your product is about, you know, color and vibrance. And so I feel like that's great that you evolved into kind of understanding that and embodying that.
Yes.
Also, yeah, just to echo what Liz said about like your brand legitimacy, you know, in student made, people are at all different levels. A lot of, you know, freshmen, sophomores new to their business are still figuring out like what their brand looks like. Your brand looks like you've been around for 20 years. Like it just has that professionalism that is so good. And it's not even like any clear thing, I guess, I can point to, but you're just scrolling through and you're like, yep, this is a real business. Like she is really successful at this, which I guess just comes through your graphics and everything, like how you do your photo shoots. It's just so professional. So I don't know if there's anything, as we kind of wrap up here, your section, is anything you can say is like lends to this professionalism that you have the most?
Yeah, I would say definitely putting together mood boards. So I do that a lot with like different brands that I idolize or like I really like, and putting together mood boards to see what's trending or like what people are like more appealed to like visually, and then also really like using the resources you have. Like I like to call myself like a kitchen table entrepreneur. Like I didn't know how to do a lot of stuff like photo shoots and stuff like that, but like it's like apps where you can have an AI background or like just like photo backdrops and like different tools, like even like the product photography box you can get on Amazon. Like just those small things can like make your brand go that much further, especially like the visually appeal, because it's like, okay, you have a professional box, it might cost like $3 on Amazon, but it's like that beats getting a whole photographer photo shoot, like, because it gets really pricey, especially as entrepreneurs. It's really important to work with what you have and like just like seeing all the resources that's out there, because there's so many resources out there. Even like, for example, wanting to have a better like website, there's like templates you can go buy and purchase to make it look more professional. So really just like researching and like utilizing all your resources.
Totally. Sure. Yeah. Like as an entrepreneur, you don't have to spend the money on the really high cost things like a professional photographer or studio, but like maybe don't do it for free either. Like buy the $3,
exactly, the
$5 items that like legitimize what you're doing a little bit more. And plus you picked an industry that is not easy to compete with, the beauty industry. You know, L'Oreal, and I'm not a woman, so I don't know any others. But what else is there? Even just like smaller makeup brands, there's a lot. And honestly, your social media probably doesn't look that far off from what one of those $1 billion brands looks like, honestly, like a L'Oreal photo shoot or a Maybelline. There you go. There's another one. You know, it's it's a tough industry to be in, I'm sure, but you are pulling your weight there, it looks like. Where can we follow BC Cosmetics, Beauty Conscious Cosmetics? Also shop your products. I know we have Michigan State. The shop will be closing for the summer sometime soon, but how can we follow along with you and maybe shout out a favorite product of yours?
Yes, so you guys can follow along on all of our social media platforms. Our tag is Shop BC Cosmetics, and that is on all platforms. And then if you also want to shop our website, where we have like everything on the full website is shop, the letters bccollections.com. And we're also available on Instagram Shop, TikTok Shop, you know, get y'all little discounts and shop with us.
All the places.
And also I would say, probably I would want to highlight our MVP product would be our Blush for Me palette. When we released that was like definitely our bestseller, just because it fits every complexion and it's made to be easy for everyone. I feel like what girl doesn't want a little blush?
Are you exclusively female makeup? I know there's such thing as male makeup out there. I've never dabbled, but could I, is that a thing? Are you exclusively female?
No, we're actually like made for everyone. So our whole mission is to make makeup easy for everyone, every complexion, whatever. So we have to like the formalization is made for everyone, every complexion. We also have different makeup artists giving tips on our blog. So we're open to everyone.
Okay. All right. Hey, maybe I'll take a look for these podcasts. I could probably use a little bit now that we're into video too. So okay. Enough said. We'll move on to our second featured brand of the day from Cora Lyon at the University of Missouri, aka Mizzou. We're going to dive into why Liz picked this out specifically to be a top brand of the past month. And I think, not to steal Liz's thunder, but it may be more than one brand that we're featuring today.
Well, Cora is phenomenal because she actually has two brands. So there's Kindly Cora, which offers prints and accessories, and Enjoy, where she is the creative director for the brand and works with her mom. And Enjoy promotes self-awareness, self-worth, and self-confidence through journals. And we'll talk a little bit more about that later, but there's like an interactive journal that has coloring pages, all kinds of interactive, exciting content in there. I want to talk about both of your brands today because it is just so amazing what you're doing. And I also have to shout out that you're the campus manager for Student Made Mizzou too. So you're just like the most well-rounded entrepreneur ever. Cora, I would love to start off by just hearing how you got involved with Student Made Mizzou. It's one of our newer branches, and how being on the manager team and just being around a creative community has inspired and impacted the brands that you've built.
Thanks, Liz. That was really sweet. So I first discovered Student Made a year ago. Well, yeah, I guess it was about a year ago. Ryan and Lindsay came and spoke in one of my entrepreneurship classes. And I was like so upset because I was a junior and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm only going to have 1 year. This like amazing program that I just like knew I was supposed to be involved in. So I connected with Ryan and Lindsay, ended up interviewing for the campus manager position last summer. Well, actually, I interviewed for the marketing position and got the campus manager position, which I was incredibly flattered and a little overwhelmed. I was like, can I
upgrade,
do this?
Right? Promotion.
Yeah, totally. I was like, did you mean marketing or like you meant that one? But it's been the best experience. I have the greatest manager team ever. Last semester was definitely like, hitting the ground running, a lot of logistical things to figure out being a new branch. But I had like the best team ever. We did a really good job of working with what we had. We have great resources through Student Made that really helped us launch the branch. And I wasn't a creator last semester actually. And I had some things I was like, wait, I maybe could do both here. I didn't know if that was allowed. So once I found out that I could do both, I decided to start being a creator this semester. And I definitely think the community and the team I had definitely pushed me into that space of like, Corey, you're so creative, like you should be a creator as well. And I'm like, I'm already at all the pop-ups, so I might as well like be having my stuff there too.
I love that. That's such just a special story, like getting involved just from, Lindsay and Ryan speaking in your class and feeling that connection totally. And just wanting to be involved in a creative community and coming in as a manager and then being inspired by other entrepreneurs and then starting your business. That's such a cool story. I love it. I have to say, since the first time I saw your print and your branding, I've just been obsessed with you. It's so funny to me too that your journal brand is all about finding joy, because that's exactly how I describe Kindly Cora too. It just feels so colorful and happy. And I know a lot of your content has come from student made content sessions, which is such a cool and unique way to build your brand while being a student and really letting your creativity shine with the help of your marketing manager. I would love for you to share a little bit about how you get your ideas for your products, and also how the idea for the Joy Journal came about and what it was like creating something like that with your mom.
Yeah, absolutely. So Kindly Cora came about, we had this huge snowstorm in Columbia at the beginning of the semester. We were like locked in to our house, like didn't leave for like 5 days or something crazy. Like it was significant. And I don't typically have time to just be creative. So I got my iPad out and I just started making little doodles. And I came up with this collection. I've coined it the Happy Feet collection because it's just animals and fun shoes, and that's all it is. Like, so silly but like so fun. And my friends are like, Cora, I think that you could, like, I would buy this from you. And so I was like, wait, maybe I should start something with this. So Kindly Cora was born. I launched my Happy Feet collection, and then I have, like, through my marketing manager, actually, her friend was like, could you do a custom of my cat in cowgirl boots? And I was like, there's nothing I would love more than to do your cat in cowboy boots. So the custom space was born from that request. Like, I didn't even come up with the idea. I was like, wait, I totally could do that. And people love their pets. It's a really niche little area, but people love their pets. So I am like booked out like 6 weeks with custom orders right now, which has been so cool. So definitely love where that has stemmed, and it's been such a fun experience. I have so many big ideas for it. So I'm excited for postgrad to be able to like really invest a lot of my time into Kindly Cora and kind of get that off the ground a little bit more. The Joy Journal was conceptualized by my mom. So she has a company called Enjoy. It's about finding the joy within. And I work as a creative director. I took on that role just because I was doing so many of the creative things for her company. And she thought of this journal. We had one from years ago that she did all the art for, and we wanted to revamp it, make it more modern, make it a little bit more accessible for everybody. So she conceptualized it, and then I did all the graphics for it. I actually have it here. I'm going to just like show
Please
the camera
share,
really quick.
yeah.
This is the journal. And then I did all the graphics for the inside. And it's basically like coloring and journaling experience combined. We saw a gap in the market of there's all these like guided journals, and there's all these like adult coloring book type situations, but nothing like both. Like one time I just want to talk about what I'm grateful for, and maybe another day I just want to color something. So the journal combines it, and it's definitely like our heart and soul project. We love it so much. Under the realm of Enjoy, we also have just like inspirational merch. Like this is it says Seek Joy. It's like one of our hoodies, crew necks. We have hats and stuff. So it's been such a really awesome passion project, and we're excited to keep that moving as well.
That's so great. I love how passionate you are about everything that you're doing. I can just like hear it in your voice, and I can see it in your products too. And I did not know that you do custom orders, because I will be DMing you now, because you're
Perfect.
so right. I'm obsessed with my dog, and her in cowboy boots would be like, I need that. So I will be reaching out to
I
you.
love it.
Why wouldn't
Perfect.
that happen?
I can't wait.
Why wouldn't you have something with your dog? You know,
100%.
that can't not happen then.
Totally.
Well, a couple notes I took there as we were talking was just the manager to creator story. I love that. Honestly, I feel like Student Made has so many examples of that, of people coming in and seeing the creative community and being like, why don't I do this too? Which is great to see how many
100%.
people start as a manager and realize like, oh yeah, I might as well. I mean, you were already doing something previously, but a lot of managers don't even have a craft or a business, and they're like, I should start something because look how accessible it is, and all these other students are doing it. So we love to see that, and hopefully that's an outcome of this show too. You know, like you see college students doing this, and you're like, oh, if they can do it, I can do it. Like especially if I'm a little even older, you know. And I have to say that was the case for me, seeing so many creative businesses in Student Made, and I had an idea, like a product business, and I was like, oh, like we go to so many pop-ups, we see so many students doing this, running the Instagram. I get so many tidbits from Liz on these shows of like what to look for in a brand, what makes it successful, and I'm like, oh, it's a template right there. So we hope that's an outcome for people listening too. You know, just start something, dive into something. The names of your business, Kind, Enjoy. I mean, you really have a brand mission there. What about Joy? Your name, Kindly Cora. Obviously, you're a very kind and joyful person, so that's goes without saying. But what's some like more of the backstory behind those, using those in your brand and you being that kind of person?
Yeah. Kindly Cora I was actually struggling to come up with a name for like my digital art space because there's just so many directions I could have gone. But I just wanted to emphasize that like all my prints are made kindly. Like they're made to spread a positive feeling, and like the person behind it is making them with a good intention. So it's kind of like a sign off play of like love Cora, like kindly Cora.
Yeah,
And then
gotcha.
the K just like felt better,
Gotcha.
Just
And
like
there's a
sounded
comma
good.
in there, so I get that makes sense that it's like the
Yes,
signature. I
yes,
get it
yeah.
now.
So it's like,
Okay.
and so I sign off on my emails, my work emails, kindly
Kindly
Cora as
Cora.
well. It's just like kind of trademarking it a little bit. But
I
the
love
heart
that.
behind it is so that people know it's made in kindness. And
Cool.
Enjoy was my mom's brain. The point of that is it's spelled INJOY versus like EN, instead of like enjoying the journey, like finding your inner joy, embracing that inner joy. It's like more of a deeper joy,
Like living in
more of an
joy
intense, yes,
too.
living in
Okay.
your joy,
Yeah.
having joy, feeling your inner joy. So
Cool.
it's just meant to like take that joy and we're taking it a step further. We're making it even better.
That's so awesome. Yeah, it's good. It's so special knowing where your product comes from and who made it, especially when you know that they get so much out of the process themselves, like how much you love doing
Totally.
this. It feels great to support it. You mentioned your custom being 6 weeks, I think you said, booked 6 weeks out with customs.
Yeah.
Couple little specifics you can give us on that as far as your process, how you go about that, how you maybe price them,
Yeah.
and maybe what you've learned over the journey of doing custom work.
Yeah, so it's definitely been a learning curve, of course, because a lot of it is like the pricing was huge, actually, like kind of determining what I'm going to give myself that's like definitely a challenge to figure out like the value of your time. So I do price it based on like okay, backing up. Someone will submit a custom inquiry form through my Instagram. I'll reach out to them, see what they're wanting, see like I typically charge per pet or like per how long I think it's going to take me. So if it's like a couple animals, I'll charge a little bit more because it'll take me longer. And then I let them know that I'm working several weeks out just because I have so many, I'm in awe of it. It's amazing. But also graduating college, I think I'll have more time once I'm graduated to like dedicate to it. So yeah, that's how we determine the pricing. And then I just use a local printing company and I just ship it right to the customer. So I don't really ever touch the print except for when I'm actually working on it, but I do everything digitally. So it
Interesting.
makes it a lot easier.
How does that
Yeah.
work with adding your branding and stuff to the package? Like, did they put everything you want in there, like a business card or your color packaging?
It's not as like lovely as I would want it to be yet. They have like white paper packaging, which is
Yeah.
like a little bit more classy, but in terms of it necessarily like matching my brand, it's not necessarily where I want it to be yet. Exploring other options there, but
But it makes it a
as
lot
of now,
easier from
people,
a fulfillment standpoint, like for them
for
to just
sure.
do it. Yeah, that makes sense.
Absolutely. Yeah,
Okay.
for
We use
sure.
a similar business for our merch, our student made merch. We do like Printify.
Cool.
Similar deal where people order it
Yes.
through our website,
Yes.
but it gets fulfilled by someone else, and we never have to
Yeah.
have the
That's
inventory.
what we do
Which
for Enjoy. This is Printful. Like same
oh,
thing.
Printful, yeah. Yep, we use both as
Yeah.
well.
Yep.
Cool, awesome. So we have a
Yeah,
print
it's a
of
little
a
bit more of a
giraffe in a
niche print.
bathtub in our bathroom, and it sounds like
Lovely.
one of yours could. We don't have a pet, but something else of yours could go right with that on the
Totally. Let me
goofy
know.
animal
We'll do a
wall.
custom.
Okay, cool. I'm sure
I love
Lindsay's
it.
over there buying one right now.
Yeah. She's on it.
So, Cora, where can we keep up with you and your multiple brands? Shop from you.
Yes.
Again, Student Made Mizzou is the website. We'll be closing soon for the summertime.
Yeah.
And then, favorite product. I assume it's probably going to be your Joy Journal, if I had to guess. But
Probably. Kindly Cora is just at Kindly Cora on Instagram. No website yet. That's in the works. And then my prints, you can shop through Student Made until we close. And then the custom form is in my bio as well, if anybody's interested in that. And then our Enjoy Instagram is made by Enjoy. Our website's also made by Enjoy. And everything can be found through our website to purchase anything on that. And yeah, favorite product, I would definitely say our Joy Journal. Love her. She's so cute. I do think my favorite print, I have a zebra. And that's my favorite one. That's my favorite print I've done.
Cowboy boots or rain boots?
They're called fry boots, if you're familiar.
YE?
They're like, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. Yep.
Yeah. You're hip, you know.
Look at me. I'm in the fashion and the makeup and everything.
Totally.
Don't
It's
doubt
awesome.
me.
I have a tiger because Mizzou is the
Tigers.
Mizzou Tigers, but
Yes.
that's long sold out.
Website, Student Made Alumni Program. Stay
Yes.
in touch with us. Be in the alumni network. We do website services and help you get cheaper websites and that kind of thing. So plug for
I
that.
will definitely
Cool.
be in that for sure.
Sweet. All right. We're through technically three of our brands today. A total of 5, if you can believe it or not. We have 2 creators in a row with multiple businesses. Never happened before. Probably never will again. Caitlin Melton, senior at University of South Carolina. As I mentioned, 2 businesses across kind of 2 totally different styles of products. Liz, set the stage for us here on Caitlin and why she was a must-have on this month of top brands.
Yeah, like you said, Caitlin is another impressive student entrepreneur who is the founder of 2 businesses. She has also been in the student made community for a long time, and it's been just such a joy to watch you bloom through your businesses. Caitlin creates and whisk takers, and also just as a member of the Student Made USC manager team, another one of our managers here. Caitlin, I feel like you just have so much experience and wisdom to share with other small business owners. You've been doing this for a while. I would love to start off by talking about Caitlin Creates, which is the first business you started in 2021, also pandemic time. That business has changed a lot since you first began. And just from the products you've offered to, I've seen you do a couple social media rebrands, and I'm sure there's other strategies you use that have changed over time. Can you talk about how Caitlin Creates has evolved since you first launched, what sparked those changes, and just how you've navigated being a business owner for over 5 years now?
Yeah, of course. So I started Caitlin Creates under the name Honey Studios back in January of 2021, which is like kind of the end of the pandemic, like when vaccinations were coming out and everything. So my very first product was decorated vaccination card holders. Basically, I bought clear ID badge holders and decorated them with fun and colorful stickers, mainly because I saw other people doing it and I was like, oh, that's cool. And I have a vaccination card and I want mine to look pretty. So I made one for myself, loved it, started making them and selling them through Etsy. Sold a lot. So, it like shocked me. So I started with that, and again, I loved it, not only because it allowed me to be creative in a different way, but it also allowed me to shed a light on such like a scary thing that was happening in the world. So yeah, that's where I started, and then I developed into making my own sticker sheets and die cut stickers. And as the years went by, I came across a bunch of different little crafts like jewelry making, vinyl decorated cups, other small hobbies and crafts like that. And whenever I would see one, I would be like, I can do that. So I would try. And sometimes I would end up loving a certain craft. And other times I would realize I'm not cut out for something, but that's okay. I think my brand is all about creating and experimenting and just having fun doing what you love in general, which is also a big reason why I changed my name to Caitlin Creates, because for one, I cannot stick to a certain craft for the life of me. Like I can't. I need to do like a bunch of different things at once. And I think Caitlin Creates sort of gives off the vibe of like, what will Caitlin create next?
That's amazing. I love your I can do that mentality, because it's such an entrepreneur thing to say. And, you know, I've totally said that too. But I also love that you took it a step further and you didn't just make all these items for, you know, the purpose of making money. You actually owned in on, you know, which ones do I like to do? Which ones am I passionate about? And then turned that into your brand, being Caitlin Creates. And I love that you had intentionality behind your name, because that's just so unique to be like, I want basically a customer to know that they can ask me for something that I haven't even made yet, and I can probably do it for them. That is so cool. You know, I follow this painting brand on Instagram who does the same thing, and her brand is Lacey Does, and she's like, ask me, I'll do it. And and she's very successful. So that is just such a cool way to think about your business, in the way that you don't necessarily want to pick a niche. You want to just be who you are as a creative person and turn that into a business. I love it.
And that's kind of what I wanted. But in terms of having a small business for 5 years, which is so crazy hearing that out loud.
I want to say that's when Student Made started at least full time for us, was January 2021.
Perfect.
So we're right there.
It
with
was a
you,
sign. Yeah, that's so crazy. But it's been such a blessing to have my own business, and it's been such a big learning experience as well. Because if you compare my business today to my business back then, they are two completely different things, but in a good way. I've learned so much, not just being a part of Student Made, but I've also learned a lot from my dad, who helps me with like the money side of things. And I've done my own research on things, and I've even learned some things from like classes at UofSC. Like I've taken some social media classes, which helped me learn how to maintain a consistent social media look. And like choosing colors for my brand and incorporating those colors into like my posts, my packaging. Yeah, I've definitely learned a lot, and it's helped me to grow into the small business owner that I am today.
We also have to talk about your second business, Whisk Takers, which is, first of all, such a cute and clever name. I love it. And in Whisk Takers, you offer baked goods, cakes, cookies, mini cakes. You started the brand not that long ago and have already established a social media presence. You've launched new products, and you've sold at multiple pop-ups at the Soda City markets in downtown Columbia, South Carolina also. I would love to hear, first of all, what inspired you to start a second business, and did already being an entrepreneur and involved in Student Made make it any easier? And how have those markets like Soda City impacted you and allowed you to continue growing over time?
Yeah, so my second baby, Whisk Takers, started in July of 2025. So she isn't even a year old yet. So excited. I'm going to bake a cake when she hits 1.
Appropriate.
Yes. But I've always loved baking and cooking and just food in general. I would help my dad cook dinner for our family when I was younger. And my mom actually had her own baking business when I was like living in New York. So I watched her bake a lot as a kid. My first job was at a bakery, and I also worked at Crumble for 2 years. So all of that experience and knowledge combined, I was like, I can do it. So I started Whisk Takers. Was I nervous about it? Yes, because again, it's my second small business. Yes, I took a big whisk. I was a full-time student, and I also had multiple part-time jobs. So balancing all of that, I was like, I don't know if I can do it. But I was like, you know what? We're just going to go for it and see what happens. And luckily, I was able to dedicate more time than I thought into Whisk Takers, and I'm so happy. And I definitely think that having the experience of already owning a small business and being in Student Made definitely helped, because I was able to skip all of the scary parts of starting a business, and just get right into it. The scariest thing was probably creating the perfect recipes for my treats that actually tasted good. I know from the start that I wanted to make all my things from scratch. I didn't want to use a recipe that you could find online or on the back of like a cake box. That was like the hardest part. And I also had to follow the South Carolina cottage food laws. So I couldn't sell anything that needed to be refrigerated, nothing with cream cheese. I had to make sure my labeling was like very specific and had certain details on it. Very annoying, but so I had to make sure I was doing all of that. But I think I finally found the like perfect recipes for each of my different kinds of treats. So now I just go into it whenever I start to bake.
And we're just coasting.
Yeah. But getting to make all of the different kinds of cookies and cakes and experimenting and taking whisks with different kinds of treats and stuff and selling them at big markets like Soda City and the Healthy Carolina Farmers Market at UofSC has just been so much fun. I think for both my businesses, my favorite part of selling at in-person pop-ups is interacting with everyone who comes up to the table, whether they buy something or not. Getting to promote myself and my items in person has helped me gain confidence in my public speaking, because I am not a public speaker, and my people skills in general. And I love getting to hear feedback and comments on my work, not only because it helps me figure out what I need to do better and what people already like about my products and my brand, but it's just, I love interacting with people.
That's a really good philosophy, wanting to hear feedback. I bet a lot of entrepreneurs don't necessarily, like if they think their product is good, like, don't tell me it's not good. I don't want to hear your feedback. But just being humble, to grow.
Yeah, because like my biggest fear is like someone buys a cookie and then they try it and they're like, And I'm like, oh no, please tell me what's so not good about it so I can make sure that this doesn't happen again.
How did you feel like going to your first market, putting them out there? Did you have other people taste test them, or were you going off of your own, like, this is good enough to sell now, we're finally ready? So
my family was definitely my first and still are my biggest taste testers, specifically my grandma. Whenever I make something new, I'm like, have it, try it, let me know if it's good.
And grandmas will give you the harshest feedback, like they won't sugarcoat it.
My grandma and my dad, because if my dad says it's good, it's good.
My only other question, I see that you also wrote it down, Ryan, was I would love to hear why you split your brands and why you didn't just start selling baked goods under Caitlin Crates. What made you decide to... Yeah, that's I think really strategic, but I would love to hear like your thought process.
I feel like I know Caitlin Creates doesn't have a specific like thing, like I said, but when I was thinking of food and baked goods in general, that seemed almost too far away from like jewelry and things like that. I think it might have felt like a little odd to see like my jewelry, my bookmarks, and then cookies, and then something else.
Would like the cottage food laws, like you mentioned, did that have a implication in it? Like actually legally, having to incorporate a different way or be an LLC? I don't know if you're an LLC for whisk takers, but like I imagine there's like different laws around different types of products, especially with food. Did that come into play as a reason?
I don't think it did.
Are you an LLC for whisk takers?
Mm-mm.
Oh, okay. So you're good under the food laws. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
As long as I follow those, I should be good. But yeah, I also felt like on social media, it would have felt weird to see like, here's my newest earrings and then a cake,
and cookies. Yeah.
And I also know. I know that I wanted, when I was envisioning like whisk takers and making my logo and like thinking of that brand colors, I knew I wanted like neutrals. Baking and like home vibes give off like beige, neutral, tan, brown. stuff, which is the complete opposite of Caitlin Creates.
Gotcha.
Like, I'm wearing my shirt right now. Very blue, very colorful.
Okay,
I
kind of
just
like
don't
what
think.
kind of like what Katara was saying. Like the black and white was not matching the vibe of the business.
Yes.
And so for you, especially with a whole different business, you're like, okay, yeah, the same color scheme isn't going to work.
Mhm.
That makes sense. Talk about your time management skills. You said you had multiple jobs, full-time student, starting one business and then starting another. How in the world does one do that?
Luck, maybe. I don't know.
How do you separate your time? Do you have like a extreme journal keeping abilities, or
I definitely, all my classes